Railroader fans. I'm Ray. Welcome to Boeville, Newtown's vlog number 11. It happens to be Cinco de Mayo. For those non-Spanish folks, it's May the 5th. 2016. What we're going to do tonight, or what I'm going to do tonight actually, come across a couple of rather interesting little tidbits. I'm going to put some links down at the bottom of the YouTube thing when I get done, in the comments area. I'm a member of the Tyco, the Underappreciated Models Facebook page, and I'm a part of another group, and it's the HO, I think it's the HO, it might be the HO Modelers group. Either way, both groups have been extremely helpful this week. A couple of folks in particular, and of course I don't remember names off the top of my head, so I apologize if they are actually able to see this mess that I put up. But I found some interesting information on a couple of the locomotives that I had, or that I have, that came from my dad. Number one is this dude. This is actually a Tyco T209, thus the reason why it's actually painted on the tender. It's a Tyco T09. It's a switcher engine, obviously. I believe it was actually a part of a set, although the box was marked and this is really interesting. This particular model was made somewhere between 1950, somewhere in the mid to late 50s. It looks like it may have been a part of a set, which makes sense because I just happen to have the caboose, the gondola car, and the two flat cars that went with it. Now, one of the interesting things with these flat cars is my father years ago had taken an old tree in the backyard and actually cut it up and made logs out of it, and or not taking twigs and cut them up and made logs out of them, which was rather interesting. And of course they don't stay on this one here. The 3-car load doesn't stay together very well, but that's beside the point. Sorry, I just went ahead and fixed it. But these are die cast. This is actually plastic. And the interesting thing of it is the bottom of this is actually marked as Mantua. Isn't that funny? Now, these here have been modified from their original hook and loop, and in fact the front of the locomotive still has its hook and loop. But the cars were modified from the hook and loop over, obviously, to the horn hooks. But I believe that this may have been a set, because I actually have in my shed something else that's rather fascinating, and that is the fact that I have a box, a brown box with the Tyco logo on it, that actually right now has little lawn bowling pins in it. So I have a feeling that may have been a set. I don't know where the power pack got off to, and I don't know where the track went off to. It may not have had the track and the power pack. I don't know. Unfortunately, I don't have anybody to ask because they've all passed away. So I'm kind of left in the dark a little bit. But that one there was made between 1950, somewhere in the mid to late 50s. The Varney locomotive, this little docksider, is actually plastic. It was actually, I believe somebody said it was probably the mid-60s that came out, and it actually, Varney was picked up by Lifelike at one point, and in fact, if you look at their little docksider locomotives, they look exactly the same because they use the same dies. Now, sorry, I should have pulled him down beforehand. The Boeville locomotive. This one here was probably a first run. This is actually from 1957. Apparently Boeville was not around for a very long time. I was just looking at the bottom does say 1957 as well. Apparently Boeville did not last long. And their dies were eventually picked up by Lifelike, which would explain another neat little nuance, and that is the fact that I'm going to pull a couple things down that I don't think I've talked about before here. The only thing I have to do is figure out what I did with the other. What did I do with the other? What did I do with the other meat grinder? I should have gone looking. I should have done this beforehand, but I didn't. I wonder if I gave it up to my buddy John. I wonder if I gave that up to my buddy John, because I no longer see the meat grinder. And it's quite possible I did give that to him, but I don't remember doing that. Well, that kind of stinks. Doobie-doobie-doo. Sorry folks, like I said, I probably should have done this beforehand and I didn't. And now I'm looking for something that apparently I must have given up. Or sold off, one way or the other. Because now I don't see it. Well, anyway. Well, that really stinks, because I had because this one here was the lifelike one. This one here has a unique setup to it. And I had a Boeville that had the same style. Basically what it is up in here is the gearing, and it's all exposed. And like I said, I called it the meat grinder because it was exposed and it just spewed stuff all over the place. But now I can't seem to locate that particular locomotive. And it can only be one of two places, or one of a few places, and apparently, like I said, I must have given it up. Which is fine, because that thing was a pain in the butt. Anyway, I can't imagine myself doing that though, so maybe it's in one of the other boxes someplace. I'll have to go looking for it later. But anyway, I got some information on these older locomotives, the oldest ones in the fleet. Obviously, better part of my stuff though is mainly from the mid-70s to mid-80s, and then it picks back up again, and a couple of things for the 90s, and then goes on from there. I haven't had a chance to mess with the spreadsheet, so once I do, we'll get that. I'll show that off. But that's basically where I'm at. I haven't really done much of anything else down here. I haven't done any more locomotive maintenance other than what's been done on Vlog 8, 9, and 10. And how did he do that? Which is going to be the next thing that'll be coming up. I'm going to probably start working on some of the other projects that I have lined up. But that's basically where I sit, right here. So I think what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and just turn the layout on for a little bit and let the trains run. So we'll be right back as soon as I figure out what I did with stuff. Be right back. Come on. Alrighty, folks. Well, almost worked for a while. So, you know, wait for the highball. Wait for the highball. Green tracks ahead. We'll catch you next time. See ya.